In 2024, Luis Enrique said something about Kylian Mbappé that, at the time, sounded exaggerated, even insulting. He didn't question his talent. What he questioned was the cost of that talent if it wasn't accompanied by the right attitude. Mbappé can score a hat trick tomorrow. He can win another golden boot. But those trophies act like a curtain. They hide the real problem, Enrique once pointed out. And what's most remarkable is that this warning has followed him from club to club, resurfacing under different managers, to the point where it can no longer be ignored. In an interview, Enrique reminded him that he admired Michael Jordan.
Y presionando a Ter Stegen para empujar rápido. Y volviendo rápido. ¿Para qué? Para ser un líder.
Jordan didn't just score. He defended, pressed, and led by example. The message was clear. If you want to be a leader, you must show it for the entire match. Press the opponent. Track back. Sacrifice. Leadership isn't just about shining with the ball, it's about carrying the team when you don't have it. In the final of the Supercopa de España, FC Barcelona defeated Real Madrid 3-2. After the match, a guard of honor was requested for Barca. Everyone moved, except Mbappé. He refused and convinced his teammates to walk away. For many casual fans, this wasn't surprising. Mbappé has always needed to be the absolute leader, the one in charge, the one imposing his will. The important thing is that this wasn't an isolated incident. It was a pattern. A pattern Luis Enrique saw coming long before anyone else. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Mbappé is exactly as good as people say. From the moment he emerged at AS Monaco, football recognized a phenomenon: speed that didn't fade with the ball, ice cold finishing under pressure, calm in decisive moments. At 19, he had already won a World Cup. At 20, he was the face of Paris Saint-Germain. When he left Ligue 1, he was its all-time top scorer with over 250 goals. Week after week, he did the hardest thing in football: score. And not tap-ins, but goals that changed matches, saved nights, and justified why the entire system revolved around him. That's why the conversation usually stops there. When someone scores that much, football forgives everything else. And that's the first problem. In Paris, that logic became law. Mbappé was the tactic. He was the identity. He even had a voice in sporting decisions. And it worked. 6 league titles, 4 cups, and a Champions League final in 2020. Coaches changed, but Mbappé kept scoring. What followed was hidden behind the goals. It wasn't an obvious collapse, but it was a quiet imbalance. Domestic dominance didn't translate into European control. Many blamed ego. Enrique didn't. He pointed to something deeper: his attitude throughout the entire match, especially when he didn't have the ball. Being brilliant in moments isn't enough. Elite football is defined by constant intensity, even when you're not the protagonist. And that was what Mbappé wasn't consistently offering. The warning eventually became reality. Mbappé has played under managers such as Unai Emery, Thomas Tuchel, Mauricio Pochettino, Christophe Galtier, Carlo Ancelotti, and Xabi Alonso, among others. Different leagues, different styles, the same story. At Monaco, there were already signs. In 2017, he was reportedly removed from training after a dispute with a veteran player. The talent was obvious. The discipline was less so. When PSG came with a massive offer, he left. Under Tuchel, PSG reached its first Champions League final. It was a structured, balanced team, but tension existed behind the scenes. Tuchel demanded pressing and commitment. In 2020, Mbappé was substituted in the 68th minute and reacted visibly frustrated. That moment marked a turning point. The coach stopped, beat the ultimate authority. The player became untouchable. Not long after, Tuchel left and went on to win the Champions League with Chelsea. With Galtier, something similar happened. With Luis Enrique, the message was direct. Leadership isn't about scoring when everything is going well. It's about carrying the team when things fall apart. Mbappé didn't change. Enrique didn't back down. Eventually, Mbappé left. At Real Madrid, the pattern resurfaced. The club already had a winning, balanced core. Mbappé arrived and scored goals, but the system adjusted around him. Ancelotti didn't lose his job, but the harmony never fully returned. Under Xabi Alonso, the Guard of Honor episode showed a dressing room that obeyed the player more than the coach. Mbappé scores everywhere. That has never been the issue. The issue is that at every club, he becomes the absolute center, and the cycle repeats. Managers lose authority, the system weakens, responsibility shifts. When everything revolves around one figure, the shine doesn't last long. Luis Enrique saw it before anyone else. A team with 10 workers and one superstar can win matches, but to win titles, you need defense, sacrifice, and consistent leadership. That's the real debate, not whether Mbappé is good, because he clearly is. The question is whether he's willing to do everything it truly takes to be the leader he says he wants to be.